Guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here with the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette from BH Cosmetics, and I just want to do kind of a talk through today, just kind of talk about something that I've been thinking about, and get into some juicy conversational topics. Well, as you guys know, I am a Christian, and I am also a girl. Ding! I wanted to specifically talk about relationships today, and just some things that have been on my heart, some things that I've learned along the way, and just I want to share those things with you guys, just in case there was something that you may, not be super clear about concerning your walk with God, and maybe you want to learn more about it, or whatever the case may be. I'm here to help you. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about courtship and relationships, and what that looks like for the Christian girl, what should your expectations be, and how to navigate this thing, because it's a bumpy ride. Okay, it's a bumpy ride. Nothing against the people that I used to date or whatever. Y'all be blessed, be holy, and be set free or whatever. But, I definitely feel like I haven't met God's best yet. I'll say that. And for the reason that I have been in a lot of relationships, I feel like I have a lot to offer concerning this conversation topic. I'm single, and I just, I'm unmarried, have nothing, no tricks up my sleeve for the married folk. Y'all be blessed. But for my single girls, I got y'all. Watch. I'm gonna go in with this color, this kind of lavendery color. Cute. And so as I was saying, I've been in a lot of relationships, and I think that I have a fair amount of knowledge on this topic, so I decided to share it with you guys. One of the first things that I will say is, if you really want to be in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are submitted to God. You need to be submitted to God. Your heart needs to be transformed. You need to make sure that you're okay individually, because if you're not, you're going to attract people that are not. No whole person attracts an undelivered person. That just, as far as like actual compatibility and like a long-standing relationship, nobody that's truly whole within themselves will attract and will truly attract someone genuinely trying to be with them, that's undelivered and in an undelivered state, because nobody undelivered is going to be able to stand you, to be honest. It's just not going to be a good fit, because one person is going to be looking at life through a pure lens, and the other person is going to be looking at life through the lens of their hurt and their experiences in life. So yeah, it's just not gonna work. You got to be submitted to the Lord, and make sure that your heart is submitted before, and when I say submitted, I mean it ain't going nowhere. I mean you're decided. You're in a place where it doesn't really matter what happens. God is your OG. God is your, that's your ace boom coon. Y'all in it to win it. Y'all ride or dies. You and God are like, man, we are besties. Like, you're decided. You have a stance, and hell knows you have a stance. Heaven knows you have a stance, and all your homies know you got a stance. That's what I mean by submitted. And I would also say that you need to trust God with your heart first before you can try to trust anybody else. Because, and the reason that I say that is, I can speak for myself concerning my own issues and stuff. Girl, brokenheartedness was a lifestyle, and with that comes rejection, and when I say rejection, I mean just kind of like this incessant feeling that no one will really be able to accept you for who you are. And also this lens, it's kind of like, rejection is kind of like a pair of glasses, and it affects everything that you take in. It affects everything that you see, everything that's around you, everything that you like care about. Rejection is gonna get in the way of that, and it's gonna come to affect the way you see everything that goes on around you, as far as, you know, the way you see other people, the way you see correction, the way you see God's love. Rejection is going to come to get in the way of that. I'm gonna go in with this dark purple now. It's gonna come to get in the way of that because the goal is to keep you from God firstly. Secondly, to keep you from God's people, because God's people can sometimes help you get to God. If you don't deal with rejection and whatever else you may be dealing with, you may not have rejection, but maybe you have bitterness. Maybe you're the type of person that's hard for you to forgive. Well, you know, how are you going to be in a relationship? And a relationship is supposed to reflect God's love. So how are you going to be in a relationship with anybody and you can't forgive? That's like the main thing in the Bible, bro. That's like the main thing in the Bible. How you call yourself being in a relationship, but you have not yet learned how to forgive people. I'm not saying you don't need love. I'm not saying you don't need affection. I'm just saying you don't need to get it from nowhere else but God if you haven't yet learned how to forgive. If you haven't yet learned how to soften your heart toward people. If you haven't learned mercy. If you haven't learned, you know, loving kindness. Why do you think that you can skip steps? You can't just jump to marriage and be like, oh, I have a godly marriage, so I'm a Christian. No, like, you can't just skip the whole, like, you can't just skip everything and just be like, I'm in a relationship and it's a godly relationship. Trust God with your heart first. Because if you have a problem with, oh, okay, I didn't expect that to happen. So the lavender color didn't come off very well, but that's alright. I'm just gonna spray it with my setting spray, kind of make it pop a little bit. Yeah, buddy. Anyways, yeah, you need to trust God with your heart. You need to trust God with your heart first, because say you're in a relationship and you want them to know that you know, are concerned about something, but they don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear you talk about it. They're just not receiving that well. Well, how are they ever gonna learn? You know, you feel like this thing really bothers you, this thing really hurts you, and they don't know. They won't listen to you. They won't change or whatever. When you trust God with your heart first and you believe that He wants the best for you, that He wants better for you than anybody else in the world, it's easier for you to be okay and to be patient with someone, understanding that God will minister to them about how to best love you. When God has your heart in His hand, He can school anybody on how to love you. He can show anybody what's best for you, what's the best way to approach you. When there's a heart, when both hearts are submitted, God can show anybody, you know, what's the best way to love you, the best way to treat you. And it also gives you faith, because when that person is being a human and making mistakes, you know that God would not pair you with anybody who is not, you know, capable of change and stuff like that. So once you trust God with your heart, it becomes a lot easier to trust other people. If He won't protect you from something happening, He will give you everything you need to get through the event. So you need to trust Him, because if you don't trust Him, then you can't trust them. If you don't trust God, then you will always ineffectively trust in a relationship. That's why it kills me when girls always talk about, I got trust issues. Even when boys, these girls ain't loyal. Talk about these girls ain't loyal. You're not loyal. Loyal? What are you talking about? Everybody's talking about this unfaithfulness and, you know, trust issues, and others don't trust people. It's because you don't trust God. How are you going to trust anybody on this earth when the most consistent being in existence, you can't trust them? You need to deal with why you have that. Why is that in the way of you and God? Because not dealing with it is going to cause a rift in every relationship you try to have outside of God. thing that I want to say is you have to believe that above everything else, you are worth somebody going the extra mile for you. That is so important, because if you don't believe that you are worth someone doing the absolute most on your behalf, you will miss the entire point of a husband. I won't say that our husband is meant to be God for us, but he is our personification of God's love for us. And so everything that they do should in some way reflect God's heart toward us. You know what I mean? And God, if God would send his only son to die on our behalf, you should not be settling for a Negro that has a problem with driving 30 minutes to get to your house. That's just, oh my God, and that irritates me. And I've had that problem my whole life because I live in the suburbs. You should not settle for that. You up 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. Somebody died on the cross for me. I'm not going to accept treatment from anybody that makes me feel like I'm not worth, you know, I'm not worth expending a little extra energy for. You know what I mean? And because I also have an understanding of the way I love and the way I treat people, no, I don't, you know, there's certain stuff that you should be able to say, like, I'm not going to accept this treatment from anybody. Especially somebody who hasn't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't died on no cross for me, boy. Nah, you ain't died on no cross for me. Not even just with just like material things of just like, oh, pick me up, or oh, let's go on a date. Not to be stuff that they want to do because they want to woo you. They want you to know that they care. That should be something that's kind of like automatic. It can even go to like, now I'm using Cypress Umber from my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Just because the brown in this one isn't as dark as I would like it to be. It's not. It's kind of like a cool brown, and I wanted something more warm looking. But even like, you know, if someone really cares about you, they're gonna be delivered. And I'm sorry, that's gonna step on toes. It is. But if somebody really cares about you, they're gonna be delivered before they approach you. They're not just gonna approach you because they think you cute. No, they're gonna make sure they're ready. They're gonna make sure they're good, and they're gonna do it because they really care about you, and because they care about presenting you to God faultless and blameless. And if you're gonna present me some kind of way to God, then you gotta be in a better place than I am. Sorry, but you have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to come with something. If I'm, you know, if I'm delivered whole, set free, I'm doing ministry, I'm, you know, I'm doing things and ministering and da-da-da-da, and you are on the back seat, you on the back pew because you worried about somebody prophesying to you sitting in the back, we not in the same place, and you don't need to be approaching me, period, at all, because we're in different places. I'm running after God, you're running away. So, you know, somebody who really cares about you is not going to waste your time when they know that they're not ready for something. You know what I mean? And then also, I would say, this is more of like a in relationship tip. Well, it can go for both ways. Be see-through. Be the type of person that doesn't mind telling the truth about where they're at. Be the type of person that doesn't mind being honest about who you are, where you're going, what you're doing, you know, what it is that God says about you. Be the type of person that's just okay with that. Once you get to a place where you are comfortable with everybody knowing and you don't care because you would rather be free than be private, everything just gets a lot easier. You gotta be honest. You got to be honest, man. If you're not transparent and communicative in your relationship, I hope communicative is a word because I said that so confidently. If you're not, you know, transparent and honest in your relationships, you might as well throw the towel away. I kind of touched on it already. I have notes, so don't mind me, you know, man. Just got a little bit of notes. But purity, because a lot of times when people say purity, they're like, we're not having sex, I'm pure. Don't you see these hands? They're white. I'm pure. But you're not pure if you're holding on to getting as close to impure as you can. I'll say that. You can't be pure if you're really holding on as tight as possible as you can to being impure. You know, well, it's not sex, but I can get pretty close if I try hard enough. No, then you're not searching for purity. You're trying to get by. You're just kind of trying to hold back. That's not purity. Purity is being willing to do the utmost to please God, in my opinion. It kind of goes back to, you know, feeling like you're worth someone doing the utmost for you. Well, if the person that you want to be with doesn't desire to do the utmost for God, then how in the world do you think that they will ever justify doing the utmost for you? They just won't. I'm sorry, because I'm sure that hurts. I'm sure that it hurts, but it's the truth. If the person in your significant other or whatever is saying, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, if they can't be consistent with God, what in the world? So the next thing I want to say is, you know, being reproach proof is not a bad thing. For me, it was kind of hard for me to like get with the idea of having boundaries that, you know, it's more than just like, it's more than just about you. It's okay to be reproach proof. It's okay to do something and go the extra mile for something just because it does seem like there's something fishy there. I used to have a problem with that mentality, and I used to think, well, I'm not doing anything, so if you want to think that I'm doing something, then that's your fault. But that's not always the truth. The Bible says, flee from the very appearance of sin. You can't be mad when people think you're sinning, even though you're not. Because if it looks like you're sinning, there's probably something that you shouldn't be doing there. It's not just about you, it's about all the girls that can see you. It's about all the girls that will see you. It's about your daughters. And I'm learning in just the experience that I'm in right now of just like making my decisions, and I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my babies. And one day I'm gonna have daughters, and they're gonna look at me and they're gonna be like, wow, mom, you are so dope. And I don't want them to look at me and think, well, my mom showed me that, you know, it's okay to, you know, be with a bogus dude based off of his potential. No. I don't want my girls to look at me and see somebody that's settled. So I never will. You know what I mean? I never will. Okay, you guys, so I have finished my makeup look, put on foundation, concealer, highlighter, you know what I'm saying? I got the whole your digs on, and I just wanted to kind of cut out and go back in just to quickly finish off everything that I was saying, because I know that this video is a little lengthy. If you have stuck through to the end, kudos to you. We are now best friends, and you're about to get the meat of everything that I was about to say. I'm gonna insert a clip probably right here of the I look up close before I did my foundation and stuff, just so you can get a solid idea of everything that I did before I did anything else to it. So boom, you saw it, hope you liked it. To resume what I was saying, I just want to stress the fact that you are God's baby girl. You are so special to him, you are so important to him, and it's much more, that your life means so much more than just finding a dude. Focus on being a girl boss, focus on being cute and anointed, focus on slaying demons, okay? Focus on praying the heavens down. Settle for good and miss great. What God has for us is above all we can ask or think. So if you meet a dude and you're kind of like, this is like the bare minimum of what I asked, that's probably not your guy. Be okay with waiting for the guy that will wait for you. Be okay with waiting for the guy who will get delivered, who will change his life, and who will be submitted to God first before trying to integrate himself into your life. Wait for the guy who will father your kids beautifully and masterfully. Wait for the guy who will love you as though he got blueprints straight from God. Wait for the guy who can reflect your prayers in his conversations with you. Wait for the guy who will blow your mind with his ability to love you the way Christ loves his church. Most of all, wait for the dude that personifies the spiritual relationship you have with your Father. Wait for the guy that teaches you how to love God better, how to love life better, and how to love you better. And whenever you get tired of waiting for that guy, fall in love with the experience of being with Jesus. Focus on the experience of knowing Jesus and knowing that there's always more to know with God, and there's always more to see with God, and we will never come into a place of full understanding of everything that God is. So as long as you wait, there will always be a new facet of God for you to learn and understand. Decided to get more comfy. But yes, you guys, make sure that you're focusing on the posture of your own heart rather than posturing your heart for another person. You definitely need to be focusing on Jesus right now, just like me. So if you ever need a pal,
and my feelings grew. You say that I'm hot, and maybe that's true. Yeah, I'm just scared of what you do. I still be blowing up myself up. Blowing me up, blowing me up. I go when bad, hot, night, flame, bad, good. I've been bending over backwards trying to show you that there's more than that side of me that wanted all the fame and all the aimless sex.
With your love.
No, I'm not that girl, I'm proud of that.
Bye.
I found God and yeah, I'm proud of that.